Doing Zoom may not need to be perfect. You need to be a human. If you communicate to them, what are you doing? Then before you start the presentations, you already gain their trust and gain their good impressions that you are a very frank and open person. Yeah, so that is why consistently I improve my Zoom. So that is one of the way how I capture and set a very good first impressions to my audience. So my experience in closing the 4 deals within the week, first of all, when the opportunity comes, then you must be prepared. A lot of time, maybe we think that we don't have any deal, so we just try to get leads. If without the leads, without the appointments, we continue to do some other things. But we forget to get prepared. I do a lot of rehearsal even before I met with the customers. That's how I try to hit my presentation skill up to the mark. It seemed like a lot of athletes in the Olympic, they did not train 4 years one time. Instead, every day they are non-stop training. Then only they can be perform well when the actual event comes. Secondly, we need to be very confident and driving the process. Through the numerous of practicing, then you'll be able to understand at what point, what are the stories that you want to tell, what are the things that you want to engage with the customers. Then you become more confident and you drive the process. So long as you feel confident, then the customers will be influenced by you. And to me, every call and presentations is worth 10,000 ringgit or more. That is why my calling is very impactful. For every calls, I try to get as many informations as possible. And at the meantime, I also communicate with them the market information that I have in my mind to benefit them and to get something from them. If I'm not able to have good enough information, then most likely this customer will take the order from somebody else. Some of us know about this, but yet to success. Why? So you must ask one question. Are we consistent or are we persistent? Because a lot of time, people will say they are consistently doing this, but no result. This is the definition of consistent. Consistent meaning behaving and acting the same way and doing some things the same way over and over again. This is what we call consistent. They are going towards the evenness and the steadiness. Fixed process, fixed model. If I do this, then this one will come out. If I do that, that one will come out. They don't appreciate any changes. This is the mentality of a consistent. But look at persistent. Persistent meaning consistently continuing to do something despite of the difficulties and challenges. Yeah, so that is the difference between consistency and the persistence. Some of you, when you're calling, you say, how come this customer not taking my call? When you put on your phone, you need to reset your mindset. If not, then you are consistently making the call with the consistent mindset that the next call not going to take up. If this call is not able to schedule, then you need to realize that actually this is a difficulties and there is a challenge there. By acknowledging this, then only you'll be able to respond and reacting to all these challenges and the difficulties, showing the determinations of closing the deal or making the appointments. So there are 3 main elements of persistence. Number 1, continuously doing some things that is productive. If you are reading, if you are watching the YouTube for the improvements, that is improvements, but it's not productive. The productive to me is either calling or talking to the customers or doing presentations. Secondly, it's about the improvements in terms of the quality on the impact and the quality in terms of effectiveness. Because we know that right now our time is very limited. 24 hours, we have to do this, we have to do that. That's why we need to use the technologies to increase the efficiency and to multiply our quantity of our activities. The third thing is about the passion. If you are able to deliver the passion with the tonality, with the facial impression, eye contact like I'm doing now, then most likely you'll be able to deliver the energy through the laptop to the other side. That is how I managed to do the appointments for the Zoom appointments and close the deal. Why persistence? This is me. That was my first presentations in EA. Here comes to the second one. This one was 2 years ago. I was a very introvert person. I find that I need to be persistently training and persistently improve myself and to earn a bigger stage like them. So after a few times of seminars and sharing, then I get a bigger stage, talking to the bigger audience, and that's where it really boosts up my confidence. And why persistence is so important? Because it accumulates your effort to give a big impact. And why is public speaking is so important to me until I go to join the HRDF, train the trainers to learn how to become a public speaker. Because I know in order to make a very impactful calling, I need to have the power, the energy, as if I'm talking to 1,000 people or 100 people or 500 people. So if you are having that kind of energy, that kind of imaginations in your mind, then the way how you speak, your confidence, it will be upgraded immediately, triple or 10 times. That's why I always find opportunity to stand on the stage to talk to the audience, even to the outside investors also. So for those that would like to improve your calling and improve your presentations, I encourage you to start to practice the public speaking. And don't get me wrong, public speaking doesn't have to be waiting until somebody to invite you, only you do public speaking. In your own room, you can always already do a public speaking. So that is how you could immediately boost up your presentation skill and how you structure your phrases and your presentations. I summarize persistence into 3. How you're able to do it. Number 1, maintain your strong emotion and high energy. Otherwise, in this Zoom era, you can see a lot of top sales like, Anthony, like Summer, they consistently closing the sales through the Zoom, but you're not able to do it. Why? Because of the energy level. Number 2, you must beef up your knowledge. If you're able to continuously increase your knowledge, then you have some things to tell your customers when the times come. Number 3, using technologies to multiply your time. It is so important nowadays for us to reach to our customer. So how we reach to our customers? A lot of people think calling. No, calling is the most impactful, but in terms of the mass, it will take up a lot of your time. So how are you going to do it? You are using the social media. Try to put it on, tell people who you are, what are you doing, the ups, down, and also some things that you learn through the Facebook. For example, for tonight's sharing, I just share ideas in my mind just because I think that this is an opportunity for me to serve. It's not for me to actually show off or what. So that is how I put my Facebook there and then I put it out. And guess what? I received one call of a customers. I never spoke to the owners for about 5 years. I helped him to ranking out his unit and I helped him to solve his tenant problem. But after 5 years, I need not speak to him. And today he called me. He said that, are you still in subsidy? I said that, okay. And then the customers told me that he just received the key of the bond estates. He has 2 units. One unit he want to sell and the other unit he want to rent. And he sent me a brochures telling me he received these brochures in his letterbox, asking me, am I knowing the person? And you guess what? As you can imagine, in the end, I say that, let me find out for you who are the people that I'm able to introduce the units to you. So this listing is coming without a single cent, 5 years. And you know what is the magic words that he told me? He said that, Henry, I have been watching your Facebook. Because when you are being positive, when you are delivering the positive in your social media, there are a lot of people like to follow you. In 5 years, he never comments, but he is watching. So this is the power of social media.